Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sheli and I'm so glad you guys are here. I have a brand new video, or brand new palette from a brand known as CColor Cosmetics. CColor Cosmetics is a brand that's known to do dupes, but I have something unusual. This Guardian palette here from CColor Cosmetics, I cannot for the life of me figure out what it is that this is supposed to be a dupe for. This is a rainbow palette, but it's a pastel palette. And let me take this off, hold on. Still with the ASMR thing. This looks a little bit like a BH Cosmetics palette for me, but I don't think it's supposed to be. I kind of lost track of Jeffree Star over the years, but this kind of gives me sort of a Jeffree, Norvina, BH kind of vibe, is what it looks like. And I have had excellent luck with CColor Cosmetics palettes in the past. My love affair of dupes came from CColor Cosmetics because they do a lot of inspired by palettes. So I picked up 3 palettes recently. I haven't picked up every single palette they have. They came out with a whole slew of really bright rainbow palettes, and I skipped majority of those. Most of the international collection, I think is what they called it. I skipped those. I may go back in and get them eventually. I don't have a code with CColor Cosmetics, but they are a budget brand. Hot Mess Mama MD, she's got a code. You're welcome to, you know, go use her code, show her some love if you want. That's totally fine with me because I don't have a code. I'm trying to remember if I actually even used a code when I purchased this. They may have had some other sale that I used. They do that occasionally. I also picked up another lip kit. I think I've purchased several of these in the past. The last 2 that I purchased ended up being the exact same one, so I put one in a giveaway. I do have that coming up soon though, if it's not already up by the time this goes up, which I don't think it will. I need to get it up. But this has a lip liner, a liquid lip, and a gloss. I'm gonna just take off, I've got a little lip liner on my lips already. See if I can't remove that. We'll go in with this. So I thought it would be kind of fun to do since it's a brand new palette and I've literally only seen one person talk about it. Let's do some looks. Should we do 3 looks? Should we just do 2? It's a big palette. It's like 28 shades. This is the Matte Luminosity. I think that's the name of the kit, is Matte Luminosity. So, oh. Immediately the tip fell off of the lip liner. So let's go ahead and sharpen this since I lost the tip off that. Let's see. That leads me to believe it's very soft. That is looking like a pretty light shade for me. Almost too light. I don't know that I would, I mean, maybe we'll try it in the summer. Maybe not summer. The spring, if I'm doing something super light, we'll have to see. Let's see what this liquid lip looks like. Yeah, it's light. That's too light for me to wear like that. So we're gonna let this dry down for a second. Sorry, you guys. This has happened on occasion. Sometimes I've gotten really, really great lip kits from them. Sometimes the color, it's just hard to tell when you're ordering things online. I don't normally go for like kind of a 70s sort of look, but I know how to fix this. I'm gonna actually take it's almost dry. As I'm talking, my lips are almost dry. I'm gonna take a darker lip liner. This is Sweet Tea from Morphe. This is like my fix-all liner. And I'm just gonna contour out the outer. Gotta be honest, that looks infinitely more better than just the lighter color that I had on its own. So now that I've got this matte lip combination going on here, I'm gonna take a little bit of the clear gloss, and it's more like a lip oil, feels like. I totally saved that lip kit. I was worried that I wasn't gonna be able to use it, but now I'm like, okay, that's a lip combination I can get. So this is the palette, and I kind of want to do 3 looks. This is a 28 pan palette. You've got 2 pressed glitters. I wouldn't use those on your eyelid, so that brings you down to 26 shades. You've got this one shade right here that looks an awful lot like a Huda Beauty kind of marbled shade. You've got some scary colors in here, and I think at first glance, if you're not a pastel, bright, light colored rainbow wearing goddess, then you might go, wait, do I need this? I start peeling away some of the shades that are scariest. Like this bright melon and this bright pink, if I cover those up, all of a sudden I think, okay, wait, this maybe is not quite so scary. So those become accent colors. This bright lime green becomes an accent color. That ridiculous yellow right there becomes an accent color. And then what I'm left with, and of course I wipe out the glitters. I'd probably just put a piece of tape over them so I'm not tempted to use them. But the rest of them, all of a sudden this becomes a warm neutral palette with pops of color, and the pops of color that are in there don't terrify me. So then I start looking at how would I wear this palette. Sometimes I look at things like diagonals. I'm not really feeling a bunch of those. Sometimes I look across a row and go, wow, that's a lot of shades. They don't really seem to go either. Sometimes down a column, all of a sudden I go, oh, okay, that's cute. That's cute. A little scary. I'm not sure about that one. That potentially has some, okay. I go down a column and I start seeing how things can kind of jump together. This particular palette though, when I look at them in squares, I go, wait, maybe I've got some squares maybe not that glitter. Maybe I've got some squares of color combinations that I would use. I'm trying to choke on my own spit here, you guys. We don't need the watery eyeballs we're trying to do. So let's do 3 looks with this palette. Let's just see. And I don't know what this, if this is supposed to be a dupe for anything else. No one has told me. I don't even know what to compare it to. If after looking at this, you guys say, oh, Shell, that is a dupe for, let me know, and we'll come back and we'll play with it. Because if I don't have it and I can still get it, then I would gladly do that for you guys, especially if it's something you guys already have in your collection and you're trying to figure out what to do with it. I'm gonna grab this matte kind of sand shade in here. It's called Peachy, but I'm calling it a sand shade. So we're gonna do the first look over here. Normally when I look at palettes, I look for a light shade that I can use for inner corner. I look for, I need to scooch you guys in. I've done that a bunch of times now where I forgot to move you guys in during my video. I look for a lighter shade that I can use for a brighter contrast. I look for darker shades that I can use on the outside to contour my eyes. Sorry, I'm trying to avoid the leaky eyeball situation. And I looked, can I get 3 looks from the same palette? So this peachy shade is barely showing up on my lids. As far as what I have on my lids, I have a little tiny itty bitty dregs of some Jason Wu tinted primer on my lids. I used it on my face underneath earlier and I just kind of drug it up there too. So not a full on eyelid primer situation. I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, which is called Shield. I'm not really understanding the name of some of these shades. I'm just kind of trying to darken this up a little bit here. So how are you guys doing? Is everybody doing good? What are your favorite type of videos to watch? Do you find yourself, I mean, aside from world news, I don't know if you guys are obsessed with world news as much as I am, but so I've gone in with these 2 shades and they're a little lighter, a little bit more brighter, more pastel-y than I thought they would be. I'm gonna go into this darker brown right here. And I'm just using the same brush. And we're just gonna deepen this up a little bit. I think when I saw Rhonda, who's the only other person I've seen do a video, or as Mama, when I saw her do a video on this, she was like, oh, I'm gonna do a neutral look, and then ended up doing something very bright and effervescent and colorful. And I see how you can do that. So I'm gonna try to stay on track here and on focus. I think the way these 2 peachy colors have come across so far, I really wanna grab this peach shimmer right here for over the lid. This is gonna be very much so a daytime friendly look, which, you know, is one of the 3 that I try to look for. Can I get a daytime look? Can I get a nighttime / date night look? Can I get a work look? And I think most palettes that where you've got a couple browns, I think you can pretty much do a work look with a brown or 2, whether they're matte or, you know, I think the work looks tend to be the easiest one. So let's do 2 kind of daytime looks and a night look. Those are really pretty. You know what I really want to do though, because there aren't too many palettes that have this type of deep, rich, blue color. This is like a sapphire blue. This one's called Gatekeeper. I'm gonna put a little of that on my lash line. Love a dark blue with brown eyes. And I think a blue, you know, navy blue kind of goes with everything. And a navy blue with this sort of warmer peachy color, I think brings it very pretty for spring and summer. Okay, I almost feel like I need to go a little darker, kind of balance out that here a little bit. Yeah, the formula's fine. The formula is perfectly fine. Let me throw some mascara on real fast. All right, you guys, there's look number 1. I feel like I've got this, you know, light, bright, pretty kind of corally with this little bit of smudged in navy blue. I'm loving that. A little bit of fallout, just be prepared for that. Let's switch over to the other eye and come up with something, you know, maybe also fun. You know what, let's do date night over on the other side. Can we do that? I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't want to promise anything and then not be able to commit to it. So let's do a green look. Let's go in with the scary colors. I'm gonna grab a little bit bigger brush though. I'm gonna take this lime green here, which looks insane. I'd be real curious how this stacks up with the Natasha Denona, this green shade that's in her pastel palette. That'd be kind of interesting. I wonder if there's very many dupes in here, you know, since this is kind of like a lighter pastel-y type palette. Wow, I took that, I got overboard here. I took that green all over my lid and I really like it. Wow, you guys, this is ridiculous. Okay. So I feel like it got a little bit patchy, but that's okay because this is a shade that I would actually put a shimmer on top of. I'm gonna go in with this one right here because I think this is the corresponding shade that matches. I think you get a number of that with this palette, where you've got a matte and then you've got a shimmer that works really well with it. That's very bright. I need to darken up the outer side. I'm a little scared. I was gonna try to go in and just do something like really bold, but I can't bring myself to do it. So I'm gonna grab this warmer brown right here just for fun, because we're putting it over the top of that bright green. So let's see how that looks. I think I probably would have appreciated maybe something a little cooler toned. There's, I mean, this brown in here too, but that's also a warm brown. I'm gonna grab a little of this blue that I used on the liner on the other side. Let's put that right over the top. See if we can't smoke it out. I feel like that this blue is like a cream, almost like a cream shadow, which probably needs a little bit firmer of a brush to try to pull out. And that transferred all over my lid, or all over underneath my lid. I'm gonna grab a flatter shade brush and just see if I can't pack a little bit more of that blue on here. Yeah, so I think that blue, because it feels like it's a cream formula, really needs to go on with either a flat brush or perhaps a finger, maybe even a small firm brush, dampened brush perhaps. That would be my recommendations on that shade. And also perhaps consider doing your eyeshadow first before you go in with the crazy eyeshadows that kind of get all over the place here. We're so close to being satisfied with this. I'm gonna go in with that lime green one more time, put a little bit more of it around that edge, soften it up here a little bit, and I'm gonna go back in with just a little bit more of that brighter shimmer right there on the center of the lid. Yeah, I think that gave me a little bit more wearability. Let's put some mascara on and then we'll prove it. Okay, you guys, I am back. I love the bright green. I love this color green. I think it's super fun. I don't think it gave me the right browns that I needed for it. The navy blue in here, or this kind of royal blue, it's not even really a cobalt blue, kind of like a sapphire blue. That one's a little challenging to work with, I gotta be honest. Now, I'm not a makeup artist, so I'm not an expert when it comes to using these things. What kind of saved this and turned it into kind of a little bit more of a fun, maybe summer date night look would be just a little bit of a blue eyeliner, kind of tied it in a little bit more, made it look a little bit more intentional. I don't hate this look. Is it my favorite? No. I like this one more, but it's so bright. It's hard for me to want to wear this. There's a couple more of these shades I want to try just to see. So let me take this off. I'll be right back. Let's see. Let's just see how I feel about it when we get through all three looks. Be right back. Okay guys, I am back. Let's do one more look, and I'm torn because part of me is like, do I want to use some of these really, really crazy colors like this bright tomato red? Would I ever use that in an eyeshadow? Or these melon colors, like this melon color, this hot pink color? Would I use that in a look? I don't know. I need to, I'm gonna start with this kind of stone color up here. I do have that, I put back on that Jason Wu tinted primer. This one, surprisingly enough, looks like it might have a little bit more of a pink tinge to it. I wasn't really expecting that. I thought it was gonna be more of kind of a grayish taupe shade. This is not a look I would ever leave the house wearing. I'm gonna go into this shimmery darker green right here. I do have like the dregs of my prior look on because unfortunately I didn't get it all off. But we're playing with this palette and then we want to make kind of a determination, right? Is this one, is it fun? Do we need it? Does it add anything to our collection? Can we get multiple looks from it? It is a cardboard palette with a little tiny, a little mirror in it. The mirror is adequate, but is it big enough? I mean, there are bigger. Sometimes you put mirrors in palettes and it raises the price, so I understand. We're getting 28 shades, theoretically. I'm gonna go in with this other shade here. Looks like it might be the same color of green, is it? Maybe slightly more blue-green. The shimmers are very creamy, which is good. They're very pigmented, which is good. This one down here called Honorable seems like it's slightly more blue than the first one that I tried, which was called Savior. I don't know where they come up with the names of these. These are Galaxy? It's like Guardian of the Galaxy type stuff. I'm not really sure. All right, so I don't know how I feel about that green and that pink, but might as well stay on a theme here. I'm gonna grab this bright purple and we'll take that on the outside just as a little bit of contour. Actually, that's kind of pretty. So I guess the question is, can you put mattes on top of shimmers? I'm gonna say yeah. Should we go full on Mardi Gras here? This isn't a look that I would normally be like, oh yeah, I've got to wear this. But for date night, sometimes I go a little crazy. Sometimes I go a little bold, a little bit more mermaid vibe-ish. I don't hate this. This shimmer right here, put a little bit of it right there. Oh, you can see me from outer space with that. We're gonna have to tone that down just a little bit. That's like disco ball. Oh my gosh, I got it in my eyeball. I think right now I'm struggling with having too much eyeshadow in my contact. Try to tone that shimmer down a little bit, but now my eyes are watering. All right, you guys, I apologize. I have a really watery eye right now because I got some of that eyeshadow in my eye. So I need to do a little bit of cleanup underneath. Let me do just a little bit of a patch job under my under eye makeup here. Throw in some mascara and I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, I am back with my third and final look using the CColor Cosmetics Guardian. What did I call it? Galaxy? I think I was thinking Huda, but the Guardian palette. I understand what Rhonda was saying when she said, hey, I was going to do a neutral look, and then I ended up coming up with, you know, something not neutral. She had like this corally kind of look. I've done 3 looks now. None of them have been neutral. Especially not this one. This one I would call probably more of my date night look. I could see doing something a little bit more effervescent for date night. Probably not necessarily my first choice, but I think the end result is actually kind of pretty. I think it does make my eyes stand out a little bit, which is, you know, kind of the intention behind it. So I have a couple thoughts about this. Let me scooch out. Okay, at least you're not quite as close as you were. So it shows the palette a little bit more instead of me trying to fight for real estate. Anyway, I think that there's a number of really scary colors in here. I was disappointed with this this blue. I think it's like a cream formula. And my dog is barking. So anyway, as I was saying, I think there's a number of really scary shades in here. I'm gonna talk over them and just keep going. This Sapphire, bye, love you. This Sapphire I found really difficult to work with. I think it might go on okay with a finger, just kind of like these other shimmers right here. These were pretty close in shades. I think this one was slightly more blue and this one's slightly more green. I love these two together for something fun and just totally different. The neutrals that you have in here are very warm toned. So if you're not a warm toned user, if you're not a warm toned wearer, then you might struggle with like a work look out of this palette. There's a number of these shades in here that I think are fun for a pop of color, but I think most of these shimmers lean more towards a cool tone matte as opposed to a warm tone matte, and I feel like I'm missing that in this palette, which is a shame because I think they missed an opportunity here. They could have totally gotten rid of these glitters. I'm gonna regret this. Oh my gosh, that's so soft. They put these glitters in here and missed out on putting in some sort of usable, wearable, you know, neutrals that you could get a look out of with incorporate pops of these bright colors. I don't know, this is an interesting challenge. Probably one of the more challenging palettes I've used in a while. If you guys know what this might be a dupe for, will you leave me a comment down below if you think it looks like, feels like, sounds like something else? I'd be happy to come back here and let's try to compare and contrast the two and see if we can get the same look with both palettes. Maybe that'll answer your question if you even know, because I'm not really sure. Is it something that you need in your collection? Only you can decide that. It's inexpensive, which makes it interesting. I don't know that this is Sheli approved as a palette. I got a look that I, you know, may leave the house in, but won't today. I hope you guys are doing really well, and until my next video, bye for now.